Me and my Po's smiling. I gotta be consistent. I said I was gonna be consistent. So I have a few things to say, Po, and then I will move on. And we're just continuing our walk, but we're at the botanical gardens. We're in the rose garden right now. So earlier this morning, I actually recorded a bunch of videos, but I decided I wasn't gonna post them because I wasn't happy with a bunch of things that were residual from the, this is what I was talking about in the, smell the roses. Literally stop and smell the roses. Pomo, did you smell the Atlas roses that you like? You gotta smell them. So anyways, I was unhappy with how I was articulating my thoughts, and while I do think that there's value in not editing oneself, I think it's also, they do? Oh, hold on, let's stop and smell these. Oh, they do smell good. They smell like the other ones though, Po. But anyways, I think there's value in letting yourself make mistakes, but there's also value in editing yourself. And that's what I'm trying to strike a balance between. So those videos I'm not going to post, but later today when I make the red lentil doll, and then we did the birthday meeting that I was talking about in the last video, but Bagoo didn't want me to record and it just didn't seem right. So I didn't want to record everything just to do it. But yeah, so right now we're just literally stopping and smelling the roses, and I'm feeling a little bit like the Queen of Hearts. Pomo,
Whoa! Julia Child roses. These are cool.
I used to know why. Hold on.
They look very French.
No, there was a reason that the yellow. I don't remember, but where was I going with this? Didn't record the birthday meeting. Stopping and smelling the roses. Oh, I feel like the Queen of Hearts right now because we're in the different roses. It's like painting the roses red, painting the roses red, painting the roses red, or else you'll lose your head. So we're painting the roses red. I actually do like white roses though, so I understand though, because red roses are my favorite. Well, it's the June pink roses, but anyways, that's all. Okay, thank you, Po, for being patient. Okay, I gotta keep recording because I have so much I want to show, and Po's being kind. I asked her, I said, Po, do you mind if I record? Because Bagoo's way more shy than Cho is, but this is just a really pretty pond today. We're at the botanical gardens, as I was saying, and yeah, I'm just enjoying the path and the river, and I wanted to show that, and it's really pretty. And I always feel better when I go outside, so a lot of these videos you see me outside, that's why. Pomo! Say hi, Po. Hi, Po. Okay, I have one more thing to say about... Oh, hold on, I'm coming, Po. So I now have this new problem where it's like, ever since I started doing this 3 days ago, I feel like I have to record every single thought, and if I was just telling Po, like, oh, Po, look, so pretty.
Look at the little red thing in the middle. It's really pretty. Wait, now I'm in the garden.
I was just saying that I need to like work on like there is something to be said about like sharing things of value. So I was looking at the pond and I was like, wow, that's so Monet, like the lily pads. But then it's like a good artist knows when to erase and a good artist knows when to not paint. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to say. I'm not even sure how to begin to edit myself because it's like you never know what's going to stimulate someone else. So, but then you can't force someone to, but then like right now, like I'm posing in the garden and I'm talking to my phone, like, so this is again with being present, but then it's like balance. I have to remind myself balance. So I'm going to go in the garden and try to focus on that and try to, because this is so pretty and I've been here so many times, but it's still pretty and I still appreciate it, and the smell is wonderful. And my Po found a bench, and now I'm going to put my phone up and enjoy my Po's presence. Po was just saying that we're out here in the botanical gardens and it looks so pretty. We're smelling flowers, and she was saying that it's odd how this is like right now we're only around people who are on dates, or oh my gosh, smell. I just smelled the white one. We're only around people. I know. Some of these aren't very,
Fragrant.
yeah, fragrant. Anyways, so like, look so pretty. I don't like the middle sculpture, but Poe is just saying how the people who are here are predominantly like older people, little kids, or people on dates. And it's like, I think people need to remember that taking yourself outside and like smelling the flowers and walking, like that's part of living. And that's part of like a self-care kind of routine, honestly. So again, maybe that's what we all need to do more of. We just need to, you know, return to nature, I guess, in the sense like the row. But yeah. Anyways, Poe, thoughts? Any thoughts, Poe?
No, but that's, I like that she's learning how to roller skate.
Yeah, we're
That's
watching
really
a girl learning how to roller skate. That's cool. Try new things, everybody. Okay.
Let's
Okay.
keep walking.
One more thing while we're here. I love going under the trees. Thank you, Poe, for indulging my recording. Thank you for being patient. Anyways, I love being under here. So we're back from the botanical gardens, and I'm still having a hard time like knowing like when a thought is worthwhile. So I guess if anyone has any thoughts as to when a thought is worth sharing, let me know, because right now I'm kind of putting myself in a weird spot where I'm like, oh, I have to record this, I have to say this, but it's like, does anyone actually want to hear this? And I know I was saying that earlier, but like, for example, like I was watching Sing and I was thinking about how it's indicative of how like all the animals rushing to show their talent on the stage is like it's like Heidegger's philosophy, where he says that possibility is what distinguishes Dasein from living and being dead. And it's like the orientation towards possibility is what makes us human, but he says Dasein. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, should I record this? Like, should I share this? And it's like, I think, well, that's interesting. Does anyone want to hear it? I mean, hopefully so, but yeah, so that's what I'm struggling with right now. I don't know when a thought is worth sharing. If you have comments on that, leave that in the comments. Sometimes I think just your own conviction of thought, like if I think it's interesting, someone else will think it's interesting, and then it's worth sharing. But then other times it's like, are you just contributing to shouting in the void, which is what I talked about earlier. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about right now. Or not talking about, but thinking about, obviously thinking about. But yeah. Another thing is I am so excited. So this is a shout out to Bagoo. She just texted me that when she watched my first video, and she was like, I so much more appreciate your rants and how your gears move in your head, or whatever the verbatim text was. I'm not exactly sure. Whatever, yeah. But I'm so happy. So hi Bagoo. Thank you for watching, Bagoo. Yeah. So I guess maybe I just need encouragement. Maybe I'm just like Pavlov's dog, and you know, I need a treat when I hear the bell ring, but who doesn't need that, you know? So, yeah, it's amazing how much like a little act of appreciation or encouragement goes when you're losing hope, or not losing hope, but you're interrupting my video. Just a quick follow-up on what I was saying. I'm not losing hope, but it's like, I'm just kind of an impatient person. And it's like, everybody wants to like, feel like they reach the top of the mountain right away, and that's impossible. And things take, you know, consistency and hard work and, you know, dedication. And it's inevitable that that's going to be necessary for something that you want to be worthwhile. So yeah, I want to rephrase that. I'm not losing hope. I'm being unrealistic. So I intend to make these a bunch, that's indescriptive. I intend to make a lot of these videos because I have a lot of thoughts to share, and I have a lot to learn and hopefully a lot to share. But well, everyone has stuff to share, but if it's worthwhile, that's what is really the question. But anyways, yeah, so what is this, day 3 or something? So yeah, I just, you know, when you hear fresh encouragement, it's like a little boost. So that's all I'm saying. Maybe give somebody encouragement today. And so I already said, go outside for yourself. Give someone encouragement today. because a little bit goes a long way, and I sure know that. So yeah. Hello. So I am cooking right now. I'm working on my doll, and Poe is graciously peeling my garlic cloves and onions, and she's doing the DJing. So Poe, why don't you say what you turned on? You like
Is Mine by Michael Jackson.
Yes. Show the chickens.
song.
So the chicken shirt. Chickens. So yeah, so I'm cooking right now. I'm doing, I'm sauteing the brown rice with the oil, and then I'll add lentils. I'm gonna do that in the Instapot because it's easier. Oh, Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. And that's literally the name.
That's one of the girls.
Okay, but okay. Thank you, Poe. So anyways, yeah, so I'm cooking, and yeah, I'll update as I continue to cook, but yeah. I love to cook and sing with my Poe.
We do that.
Happy days. What's there to complain about? Oh, it's kind of like, I was initially gonna do like a classic like dal with rice on the side, but I'm doing brown rice mixed in with it, and I'm just gonna do a one pot dish because that suits our family best, because when I make leftovers so they can have it for their lunch, because I want them to have healthy meals for their lunch, they just warm it up in one bowl anyway, so I'm like, might as well just combine it. So it's kind of a non-traditional, and it's also a mix because I added cauliflower. So it's like aloo gobi dal, half and half. I don't know. I'm sure someone who's more versed in Indian cuisine can tell me about that, but Indian cuisine is so complex anyways that I bet it exists somewhere. Oh yes, the Instapot is hot. Just like me.
Do you know that Gen Z is us going to like city theaters?
That's interesting though. Yeah, off?
No, dogs.
Why does it say off? Oh, why does it say off?
I didn't do so.
What? It's done? Oh, okay, you gotta go. Okay, I'm gonna put in the lentils and keep going. Yeah.
I was really confused with that first half.
I'm not, again, I think I said this, but I'm not well versed in the Instapot, but I'm trying to get better because it's supposed to be a time saver. And if you learned something from my second video, time's a gift, babes. So yeah. Okay. Cho is playing one of my all-time favorite songs, Sam Cooke, A Change Will Come. So good. I'm literally mincing the onion or the garlic, and I have to stop and just say that. So thank you, Poe, for bringing this light to my life right now. I love this song, and everyone should listen to it. That's my third thing for today. Listen to Sam Cooke's Change Gon' Come. Oh, yes, it will. Maybe I'll cut this part out because I don't want to sing in the video. This song is so good. It's one of those songs that like fills your soul. Like it like satiates you in a way. Yeah, it literally is soul music. But like you feel it. So yeah. It like makes you take like a deep breath, and yeah. I love music that tells a story and makes you think clearly. But also, I mean, I love me some Ari too. So she does the same thing. So, you know, all music has a niche, I think. Music is another thing I'll talk about at some point, but yeah. Anyways, I just also wanted to record something I just said to Cho. She's writing an essay for a, what is it? Don't say it's a scholarship though, right?
Yeah.
It's a scholarship essay, and I told her to take a quiz between like the difference between a liberal and conservative political stance, and not in the relation such that like whether or not she's a Democrat or Republican, but whether or not she's politically liberal or conservative, which is different. So you could be conservative and vote for the Democratic Party. Like it doesn't have to be a one-to-one relationship. But anyways, I was telling her that I think that taking this personality quiz is important because she's learning that the distinction between the liberal conservative view is actually not that different. And what I was telling her is what matters if my lentils and rice are cooking now. They've come to temperature. So what matters is if you're willing to admit you're wrong. And I think that should be a goal for everybody, is like, have the viewpoint that you're going to have, but be open to changing your viewpoint and don't close yourself off to information. And that is on, so there's a temple of Apollo. There are 3 things on the temple, and it was like, these are the 3 things that the humans must master. I think it was from like the Oracle of Delphi or something like that. But the first thing was know thyself. The second thing, it was know thyself, nothing in excess, and pledge brings ruin. And that's essentially saying that, first of all, you need to know yourself first. Then you need to achieve some sort of balance. And thirdly, you should never pledge yourself to something wholeheartedly and not be open to change. Because like I said in other videos, like, if there's one thing about being human, it's that being human means we create, yes, but we also learn and change. And that's a beautiful thing that we're able to do. But with that comes mistakes inevitably. So yeah, I think that that's a good political stance. I'm inevitably going to mention politics on here at some point, so that's a good opener for that, is that I'm not really, I try not to pledge like, oh my gosh, I'm totally against this specific party and this specific issue. I always want to leave myself open to learning something that I didn't know, because like Socrates says, true wisdom is in recognizing one's own ignorance. So yeah, I will step down from my soapbox and continue to create the doll for dinner. Poe, do you have anything you would like to add before you press play on the soul music? No, Poe? Nothing to add? Okay, I'm gonna stop here now. I'm now going to boil some cashews for my cashew cream in my doll. Yeah. So I finished making the dinner, and this is the finished thing. It's actually like a mix between muhadra. I'm saying that wrong, but I think it's Lebanese dish that's like lentils, rice, caramelized onions. It usually has caramelized onions, and I put carrots, and I use tomato paste in the base as well. But it's a mix of like the lentil dal I was trying to make, and a lentil soup. And I kind of did like a cream of wheat thing, because I did creamed, I changed my mind, so yeah. I told it was gonna be one dish, so I did kind of like creamed brown rice with lentils, red lentils, in the Instapot, and it's actually vegan, so I did that. And then hold on, Poe. And then I did cauliflower and tomato, caramelized onion as the base. It's not really a mirepoix, because it's not like celery, carrots, and onion, but it's caramelized onion slowly. And then, so yeah, and then I added the spices, the spice mix. I did like 10 cloves of garlic. I did a lot of garlic because my family are not vampires. So yeah, there's that. Hopefully they like it. I added the veggies. My goal is usually to do like healthy dishes that can be served for lunch, so that's why I did the soup. And then I garnished it, lemon juice. Lemon juice is a secret ingredient for lentil soup. Lemon juice, and I garnished it with a bunch of cilantro that I didn't chop because I didn't feel like it, and I just put it in. So hopefully, okay. No, I don't. Hopefully they all like it. But yeah, anyways, that's the meal. Poe did a bunch of dishes and helped me be a DJ and keeping me company. So yeah. So what I made ended up being a fusion of, like I was saying before, muhadra, aloo gobi, and like a red lentil dal, which I know is repetitive because dal means lentil. But I also just wanted to make sure to say that I always do my dishes, and I always clean up the kitchen when I'm done, because that's really important. The cleaning of the kitchen takes so much time. It's like cleaning before cooking, and when I cook, I do the dishes as I go. And then I don't leave dishes because that's disrespectful. And it's also disappointing when it's like, oh, you made this beautiful dinner and then you have a tray of dishes. So yeah, that's just something that I like to do. I do my dishes as I go because then I'm not super angry at the end when my hands are like raw when I'm scrubbing the pans. So yeah. I also forgot to say I blended up boiled cashews into the I guess like my mom said it tasted like a spiced chicken noodle soup. And the thing that is hard for me is that I don't taste when I cook, but I tell everyone else to taste when I cook. And it's because I love things heavily spiced and my family does not. But I try to convert them. I fail. But last week I made this, I called it rat pie, with roasted veggies and a sweet Japanese potato like mash thing with cashews, because I have a bunch of cashews to use, and they really liked that. But it's because those spices are more aromatic, so I can smell those easier. And also they just have a palate that's, I guess less willing to try spice. And my favorite kind of cuisine I think is either Moroccan, Ethiopian, or Italian. I'm inclined to say because I like it would be from like Florence though, like with sardines, I think. But there are so many regions of so many different countries that I don't like to say certain countries are my favorite cuisines. I don't know. I just appreciate learning about different food cultures because that's how you learn about people as well. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here probably for today, but yeah, that's my cooking. Cooking makes me so tired. So all the chefs out there, I see you guys. Well, I see you. No, why did I say that? All the chefs out there, I appreciate your efforts. Chefs, cooks, moms, dads, kids who cook, I see your efforts because it exhausts me. So, yeah. Okay, bye-bye for now. One other thing that I think is really interesting is David Chang, the chef, has this, because I told you my two main things are entertainment. Like I know a lot about movies and TV shows, and I know a lot about cooks and chefs and things like that. So, because like the philosophy is interesting to me because it's like understanding the world around you, and entertainment and cuisine is a way of doing that as well, just through different forms. So anyways, David Chang has this thing where he says that like a lot of cities are your city in the sense that you're familiar with it through the lens in which you're comfortable, in which you like. So sorry, so many people keep coming in the kitchen, it's hard for me to think. So he was saying that his LA is like Koreatown because that's the area he's comfortable in, whereas okay, anyways, you guys keep derailing my freaking train of thought. Anyways, he's saying that in a city that's super diverse, such as any metropolitan city, New York, Chicago, LA, etc., a lot of times you can find the scene that you're looking for if you know where to look. And I think that that's so indicative of today. It's like oftentimes like the hardest part is like connecting people where they need to be. It's like some like super complicated metro system. It's like no one knows what subway to get on, but they know that the subway exists, and it's even more tantalizing because you know that it exists, you just can't find it. And that's kind of how I see this content, and I'm trying to be away content. Oh my god, I'm not trying to say that. It's kind of it's kind of how I understand what I'm trying to create. That I understand that the biggest hurdle is steering away from clickbait, but it's like, how do you steer away from a clickbaity title? Sorry, that's Doyle. How do you steer away from a clickbaity title? Doyle, stop! How do you steer away from a clickbait title and still get viewers? And how do you connect with people? And viewers meaning like people who truly contemplate what you're saying. And right now it's just people I force. So like I'm struggling with how to get viewers and viewership and consistent like people to interact with the things that I say without indulging or without like stooping to the level of like the clickbait title thing. And at the end of each like video, I always like have that inclination or that like temptation to be like, should I put a clickbaity title on this? And I still think no, but then it's like the cost could be that no one ever finds your things, and that's something that I'm contemplating as of right now. So if anyone has thoughts on that, if you find me, please share. So yeah, I know this video was full of lots of sounds just now, dogs, people, me being annoyed, but you know, that's life. So lots of sounds. Focus in on one. That's life, that's the internet, that's everything. So yeah. Okay, that's all for now.